Okay, well, welcome everybody. This is Cleta Colson-Eyre, better known as Cleta the Cheetah. And it is August 12th. It's our Boss Babe call. I thank you all for jumping on here. Those of you that are watching live, those of you that are watching on YouTube, I thank you for that. Those of you that are watching maybe tomorrow morning, and some of you that get on every week, you might like, what happened to the Boss Babe call last night? So I was traveling and I just hated to skip it. So we just did it for today. So anyway, we are going to still be on Mondays, but tonight was on Tuesday. So where I went was to a friend of mine's house, Michelle Arms. She lives in New York, not New York City, but up near Rochester, New York. Honey O Falls is the name of it. Beautiful, y'all. I had such a good time. My husband and I went. And so when I got there, she has a she shed. Okay, so first of all, I said, honey, you're gonna have to make that chicken house back there behind our house my she shed. I need a she shed. So anyway, I said, go look at it, take pictures, and get out there and make me a she shed. It's so awesome, y'all. The only difference is like in South Georgia, there's no way you could sit out there with no air. But in the north, you can do stuff like that. But anyway, so we decided to do a training. She is a top director. She's going on the top director trip this week. This week, next month with me. And I met her through Mary Kay 9 years ago on the top director trip. And so we just did a little thing about Cleta and Michele tell all. So we just asked Chat GPT. I'm just going to be honest. We said, what questions would you ask us, if we were doing an interview? And it came up with some pretty good questions. So I asked them to her and then she asked them to me. And I think y'all will like it. So I'm just going to play the recording right now. And y'all can tell me what you think when we get done. Okay. So here we go. And okay, here we go. All right. And y'all just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it once I started. Okay. Because I can see you guys here. All right. Well, hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I'm Cleta.
I'm Michele.
And I am actually from Georgia. She is from New
New
York.
York.
And I flew up here and I met her beautiful lake house, hence our casual clothes today. And we've actually already been on a boat ride where we're going to go kayaking. I said, let's do our training before we don't look as cute. So that's what we're doing.
That's right, because it's hot out.
That's right. So what we're going to do, and by the way, in case you think the breeze is really blowing, no, we have our matching fans. You do what you got to do in Mary Kay.
That's right.
And so, first of all, let me just say, if I hadn't worked my Mary Kay business the way I've had in the last several years, I would not even know.
We would know each other.
Would know Michele at all.
We met in London.
I know. We met on a top director trip.
That's right.
And so the friendships you make. So what we decided to do is do 5 little questions. I'm going to interview Michele. She's going to interview me because this is going out to my unit and her unit.
Yep.
And so we're going to tell all. And so you can ask questions in the comments and we'll come back and look at them and we will answer every question.
That sounds good.
Why not?
Let's do it.
We'll tell all. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Michele, because some of you may not have met this beautiful woman. What attracted you to Mary Kay and how did you get started?
Okay. All right. So my friend, actually acquaintance friend, Karen, had introduced me to Mary Kay, asked me to come to one of her success meetings. And I'm going to tell you that for 2 years, I told her I would come. And she would call me on Sunday night and say, I'm just calling to confirm that you're coming tomorrow. And I would make up a reason I wasn't going to be there. Now, the reason why I didn't go was I was going to do Mary Kay. I was like, I'm not going to do Mary Kay. Why am I going to go to this thing? So I really had not seen Mary Kay in so many years. And so I was really unfamiliar with how Mary Kay had evolved over the years. The first time I saw Mary Kay, I was 18 years old. And a friend of mine, actually my cousin, did a party that I went to. And her aunt was holding the party. And that was the last time I had ever seen Mary Kay. And now I'm in my 30s. And ran into Karen, and she wanted me to come. The time I said yes, after the 2 years of no's, she asked me to be a face model for her. And I honestly was, I was kind of touched that she wanted me to be her face model. and she hit my hot button because I love color. And so I went to that event and just saw a whole totally different side to Mary Kay that I had never seen. And that was just women that were really having fun, that were successful, that were earning cars, becoming directors. And I remember asking her director what, some questions about, she was doing like a Q&A. And I asked her a question about how much money she made because I was kind of money motivated. Okay. So I wanted to know, like, can this career be a career level income for me? And she told me her highest check was over $10,000. And I was like, get out. She's lying. I just didn't even believe her. I was like, she's not telling me that nobody makes $10,000
Right.
selling skincare and makeup.
Yeah.
I just didn't believe it. But it kind of caught my eye because she was driving a pink Cadillac. She was successful and there was a lot of energy in that room. And there were a lot of women doing some pretty fantastic things. So I did say yes to Mary Kay after doing a whole lot of homework about the company, the product, all the things. And really, there was nobody, Mary Kay really stood out unmatched to anybody, any other cosmetic company out there that was doing any kind of direct selling. And so, I just thought, I'm just going to stick my big toe in the water and see if this could be for me or not. And if not, so what? Maybe I get my products at, a wholesale price, which is good too, because I'm kind of a product junkie. I love products. And so that's how it really was just a leap of faith of just saying, you know what, I've tried a lot of other things in my life. Why not this? Yeah. So that's how I got started.
All right.
How about you?
Well, I had heard of Mary Kay when I was a young girl because my grandmother sold Mary Kay in the 70s, and I had two aunts that sold Mary Kay. So it's the only product I ever saw in my mother's bathroom.
Wow.
I never used it because, it's your grandma's and your mama's
makeup
product.
Right.
Yeah. And so I did use the pearl lip gloss. It was flavored back then. It was so nice.
I remember.
But I went to college and there was a girl I graduated and there was a girl that sold Mary Kay. And I was working at the Administrative Computer Center at Harding University in Arkansas. And she was working in, I should know, but I think it's the public relations office. But anyway, I would see her all the time. And her husband played basketball. My boyfriend played basketball. So we'd see each other at the gym. And she started inviting me to have a facial, like you. I said, no. I mean, I just kept turning her down. And then finally, what made me actually try the products is because I was fixing to get married. And I thought, well, my skin was always broken out because of just being oily and playing ball and stuff like that. And I thought, I'll do it. So I went to her house. I had a facial and it just me and her. My skin felt so good. She let me buy that basic skincare kit on a payment plan. I paid her $20 for 3 Thursdays in a row when we got paid.
Oh, wow.
And so then she wanted me, my mother, I booked a party and my mother said, you all think about selling this? And I thought, so I talked to her about it. Of course, she's like, I thought you'd be great. I've always thought you'd be great.
Wow.
And then I went, my mama, she did so good. But then y'all, I didn't want to buy the kit. This isn't a recruiting talk, but I didn't have the money for the kit. And it was $85. Not very much, but I just didn't have the money, even though I worked a full-time job.
Wow.
But she kept inviting me to the sales meeting. Like if my first event would have been like you at an event, I'd have probably signed up that night. But I finally went with her. And when I saw the women, I thought, I got to figure out a way to do this. And I came home and I actually got the title to my car that my parents had given me to drive the next day. And I thought, that's a sign. So I got that money and I signed up to sell Mary Kay and I bought some inventory to get started. And y'all, next month, 40 years. 40 years. How long have you been
Next month too.
What
Labor
day?
Labor Day weekend.
Oh.
Actually, I'm September 4th.
Mine was September 13th.
Okay, so same month. I didn't know that.
And how many years for you?
Mine will be 29.
29.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, so mine's 40. So I basically all my adult life, from 22 starting to now, or 23 when I signed up. So
thank God for those women that
they didn't give up on us.
They didn't give up.
That's one thing I'll say.
Success tip number 1.
Yeah, all of you that think you see something in someone and you're like, it's gonna be so good if she
don't
would
give
just
up.
Don't.
Yep.
Just keep going. Get her, and you might need to get her in front of other people besides just you.
Yes.
Like get her to even on a Zoom invite her to your Zoom sales meeting if it's okay. I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay with me if my people
Yeah.
invite people. Yeah, just to see the community. So
Mhm.
anyway, that's how I got started. Okay, so we know Mary Kay's different. What do you believe makes Mary Kay's mission and culture unique? 'Cause there's
Unique.
a lot of things now that you could sell and do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, honestly, it's the sisterhood. It's the girlfriends. I came into Mary Kay one of my reasons for coming into Mary Kay was I was looking for friends. I was
Yeah.
looking for a community, you
Mhm.
know, and I don't think there's a community outside of your church, your local church, or your immediate family that encompasses all the things that Mary Kay does. And so it was the appeal for me was the girlfriends. It was
Mhm.
the values of God, family, career. It was the golden rule, treat other people like you'd want to be treated. And, you know, and honestly, it was the fact that I loved products too, you know,
Mhm.
and they had good quality products. And so that also, you know, I have to love the product in order to sell it and to want to share it with other women. So what sets Mary Kay apart really truly is the unique culture that we have that's tied to all of those things.
Mhm. It's a sisterhood,
It is
you know.
more than anything, I
Mhm.
think.
And so for me, the God first, family second, career third, for sure.
Mhm.
Because when I went to a Christian school, high school, and then elementary through, you know, and then I went to a Christian college, and I thought that's what I believe anyway. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. And do you know that my senior year in college in Arkansas, they took us to Dallas, Texas. This is funny. We visited three major corporations because we were in the school. I was in a school of business. We saw the Texas Cowboys. We went to the stadium and saw their whole organization. And then we saw a company called Arthur Anderson. It's a big accounting firm.
Yeah.
And then they took us to
Mary
Mary Kay.
Kay. Wow.
They did. This is before I tried it. And so I'd already been to the building and before I even joined. And I was impressed with that. So I think the sisterhood is the thing that stands out. Like I know my unit members, you know, we love each other, we support each other, and when someone wins, we're not catty and jealous because they won. We're like, that's awesome. If she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And that's a big difference.
Breeds belief into everybody, and it helps you see bigger than you
That's
see for
right.
yourself when you see your friend doing it.
Yeah. And I've
Yeah.
had like my queens in my unit go, you can do it too. Next year you can be with me instead of I'm gonna beat you.
Right.
Right? It is that kindness and that you want everyone to achieve as well.
Absolutely.
Don't you believe?
Yes. Everybody winning makes it more fun.
Well, which that's
Yes.
the golden rule, you know.
Yes.
Okay, the next question is, how has being a part of Mary Kay impacted your life personally
Mm.
and professionally over the last 29 years for you?
Okay. Wow. Well, that is a loaded question because I would say professionally, I've done a lot of things in Mary Kay. I mean, outside of Mary Kay, prior to Mary Kay, I was successful in other things. I
Mhm.
had a business.
Tell them what you do.
Okay. So, I mean, I've done so many different things. Uh, I sold Highline automobiles like Porsches,
Porsche.
Audis,
Hello.
you know, all those fun sports cars. So all the high-end cars, and I was very successful there. I had a great income, but I worked a ton of hours.
Mhm.
And it wasn't freedom and flexibility for me. So yeah, the paycheck was great, but on the other side of that, it was
No life.
no life. Yeah. You had to be there 12 hours a day,
Mhm.
you know, in order to make, you know, you had to be there when people wanted to buy cars, basically. So that was one thing I did. I had my own business. I did corporate gifts and had a gift giving service. And I only worked primarily on the corporate side of doing that. And that was very successful and I loved it. But then again, it was a lot of work and I worked all the weekends and holidays. Didn't kind of fit in. Like I needed my own holidays, you know?
Yeah.
So I sold that, gave that up. But really when I took a look at Mary Kay, the reason why I wanted to know how much money I would make, because if I want to commit my time to something, I want to know that I'm going to be paid well to do it. Okay. I didn't have to, when I came into Mary Kay, I didn't have to have a job. You know, my husband was a great provider. He was like, do what you love, do what you want to do. And, you know, I was blessed for that, but I've always worked. I've always been somebody that's loved my work. And so when I took a look at Mary Kay, it really was freedom and flexibility. I mean, over the years, Mary Kay has allowed me to be, you know, at the bedside of my father before he passed and sit with him for a week. And, you know, it allowed me to do all my mother's appointments when she's had, you know, breast cancer and uterine cancer. She's been a 3-time survivor.
Mhm.
And so it allowed me to really be able to be with my family when, my parents needed me most. So that's how it has impacted my life, really professionally and personally. And when my own husband had cancer,
Mhm.
he said to me one day, I was kind of doting on him, I guess, a little too long on the front porch when he was recovering. And he said, you gotta like get out the door and get back to work. And I'm like, well, why? What's that? And he goes, well, you're like hanging around me too much. Like, give me some space, will you? But anyways, he's like, he said something to me that day that stuck with me. I never forgot it. And he said, if I'm going to be fine, he said, but if this went bad and I didn't recover, and I find a lot of comfort in knowing that you have built a successful business and you could carry our family with your Mary Kay
Wow.
business. And that really kind of stuck with me that
Mhm.
day. Like, wow, okay, he's right. I mean, it gave him comfort to know
Mhm.
that I would be okay and that I had built something on a rock, that was solid and that would, help me support my family. And so, yeah, it's impacted my life in many, many ways. And I'm totally grateful.
I
How
love
about
it.
you?
I love it. Well, unlike her, I was just right out of college, so I had my first job. I mean, I'd worked, in high school and stuff, but I was still kind of broke. I was just making a little bit over minimum wage. And I did need the money. I really did. In fact, that's probably why my mama said you ought to do it, because she's still paying my rent, even though they pay
Right.
for my college. And so I really could not believe that my first week in Mary Kay, I did 3 parties. Now, y'all, we would get our kit, and they told us, like, the minute you get your kit,
Yeah.
you had 2 weeks to do 5 parties.
Right, right.
And that's just what they said, book 8, hold 5. So what wasn't no messing around. You didn't do it. You did it before you knew what you were doing,
That's
honestly.
right.
But it's okay, because guess what? By the end of 5 parties, you knew what you were doing.
Right.
But my first week, I said 3 parties. I sold $400. The profit was 200, because we make 50% profit.
Right, right.
My check from my normal 40-hour week job was $120 once they took everything out. And I'm like, you're
No
telling
wonder
me
you were broke.
Yeah, I'm like, you're telling me that I could do 3 fun parties. Because one thing that I have always done, and I know you too, I like to have fun.
That's
I have
right.
fun at my parties. I have fun at my meetings. I have fun visiting my friends. We have fun. And I enjoyed my other job, but I wouldn't say it was fun. I mean, as soon as 5 o'clock, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
I wasn't hanging around. With Mary Kay, we go a day early, we stay a day late. We like it so much, right? But
Mm-hmm.
so it impacted me financially for sure. And then unfortunately, I found myself being single. And I was a sales director with Mary Kay, and that was my only income. I did not have child support because I did not have children. I did not have alimony. I just had my Mary Kay business. That is it. And so, I was able to pay all my bills. I was in a house. I mean, that was, I was able to support myself. And so I was so thankful that I had that,
Mm-hmm.
and that I had built my business, so that when time came that I really felt like, I got to have it. Nobody else going to buy myself something to eat but me. And so I didn't have a sugar daddy either. And so anyway, of course I have a great husband now, but even that, the income has been great for me.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, this is personally and professionally, I also uh, like to help with my mom, and was there with my dad before he passed away. So we've had life stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the friendships with people like
Oh.
Michele, we just earned Mary Kay is top director trips. Y'all know that. And so it is to Budapest. Okay. Can I just tell you, before Mary Kay, I went to Cancun. That was my international travel. And that was like on a cruise ship. And I think when I went to Detroit, and I set my foot in Windsor, Canada, and that was it. And so with Mary Kay, I've earned 11 trips. You've earned 16 trips with Mary Kay.
We've traveled the world. We really have.
I just really didn't know, my world was small, right? And so like, it's a big world, y'all. And so because of Mary Kay, I got to see things I never, ever, ever would have got to see, and experience things I never, ever would have got to do. And even this lake trip with her, I've only been to New York City before, in New York. And so now this is such beautiful country up here. If y'all have never been to, I would call it upstate, but her husband said it's west. So I don't know.
They call it upstate.
It's yeah, and it is absolutely beautiful. I
Mhm.
said I feel like I'm on a top director trip because of the beauty I've seen at this lake,
Mhm.
and that's just because I held another
That's because,
party.
right.
I just kept holding parties.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's all you have to do.
that's right. All right, so number four. Well, of course, you've achieved a lot of success in Mary Kay. What habits or mindsets, because we're talking to your unit, my unit, and other units, what are
Mhm.
some habits or mindsets that you have through the test of time that has helped you be successful and been key to growing in
Mm.
Mary Kay?
Okay, so those that know me and on my team would know that one of my battle cry is always consistency. I really believe that consistency is the key to your success, and then follow up. Okay, so if you just want to hold one party a week, just hold one party a week, but hold one every
Yeah.
week. If you want to hold two, but hold two every week. And just that consistency builds over time, the consistency of being in front of faces and keeps you sharp, so that, if you hold a party today and then you don't hold one for a month, by the time you go hold that party, you're like, I'm kind of
Can't remember
rusty.
how to do it.
Can't remember how to do it. And so the consistency, I really believe, keeps you in your head in the game, because if you're winning on a regular basis, that's why Mary Kay always said, how are you going to win today?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to, have a daily win? When we talk about the daily win can be as simple as, okay, I made 5 calls today. Doing something consistently. We heard that yesterday at
Yeah.
one of our calls, and we were like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Note to self, that's a winning tip, is, doing something consistently, like your non-negotiable things. Like non-negotiable, I'm going to get up every day and spend time with the Lord. I'm going to start there. I'm going to read 5 pages in a book. I'm going to do 5 reach outs. Consistently doing something is what's going to bring you the result. It's not the quick fast thing, because you're going to have ups and downs in your business, but it's doing it week in, week out, and seeing how it grows over time. And then the follow up, not
Mhm.
falling down on the following up, which means you've got to keep, have some kind of system in place that keeps those following up calls and text messages and reach outs in front of you so that you can stay on track.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's done the National Court of Sales. Did you say every single year you've been in? Except for just
Well,
a couple?
except for my first couple years. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
over 25 times she has sold over whatever the National Court of Sales was, 40,000. And so,
Yeah.
yes, that's super. Um,
How
for
about,
me,
yeah.
yeah, for me.
What have you done?
Okay, I will tell
A
you
lot of
this
things.
a lot of things. At the beginning, I was taught to have, I had a postcard on my refrigerator and it just said 3 + 3 + 3.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I mean, and that's
Me
just
too.
what they beat into us, y'all. This is as a beauty consultant.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was to hold 3 parties a week, sell
Mhm.
$300 a week, which now, of course, y'all know if you have 3 parties, you're going to sell
You're gonna sell.
way more than
Yeah.
$300. But 3 parties a week, $300 sales, and then talk to 3 people about the business opportunity a week. And of course, who are you going to talk to? People from those 3 parties. And so I want to just say that recruiting may seem hard to some of y'all, but honestly, it's probably the only reason it's hard is because you're just not doing the parties to see different people. Because we keep trying to recruit the same people, which, you can get them every now and then, just like us. Don't give up on people, but new people every week. It's in the
You're
number.
gonna find them.
You're going to find people that need what we have.
Oh dear.
Oh well, okay. We have extra noise back there, but I would also say one of the keys to I feel like success and growth is to be yourself and be genuine with people.
No.
For example, she and I went out yesterday. We were out doing all kind of fun things, and then I saw this girl that was serving us, and she said, I had on these earrings, okay, these bee earrings. She goes, I like your earrings, and I said, I like your eyebrows. Okay, that sounds crazy, but that's me. That's my personality. She had the greatest eyebrows.
She did.
And of course, I'd already saw her and thought,
She's cute.
She's cute. I'm going to get to know her. I'm going to give her, So then she said a few things. I said a few things, and then at the end, I said, well, listen, what kind of skincare do you use, or like makeup? She says, well, I use a Japanese something or other, and I said, oh, okay. I said, have you ever heard of the Korean glass skin facials? She's like, oh yeah. I said, I got something for you. And then I said, Michelle and I, because we were sitting there together, I said, we're both in Mary Kay. I said, we drive pink Cadillacs. Now listen, I did before you say I don't have a pink Cadillac, I don't say that. It's okay. You don't have to say that.
No.
You say I'm in Mary Kay. And but I said, I got something for you. I want you to try it. And she goes, what's she gonna say? I done been talking to her for the whole time she was serving us. And she goes, okay. So I went outside, I got her a little packet. So this is the key. I was prepared. I'm not always, but I was prepared at this time. I had a little packet with our little glass skin facials that we've been doing. And for those of y'all, and Michelle, do y'all call them?
We do
Okay,
too.
same thing.
Yep.
And so I went outside and I came back in and bought her the packet. And then I did the key. I said this. I said, listen, will you just, I opened up my text. I said, would you just put your phone number in here? Because then I'm going to text you some information about it. So I gave her my phone. She typed it in there. And then I said, okay, great. And then I sent her I have a little digital business card, but you could just send your name and your website, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't get their name. When I don't get their name,
Doesn't work out.
it doesn't work out. You just gave, I mean, you might have blessed them. You probably blessed somebody, but so be yourself, get to know people, be friendly to people.
Yeah.
And I tell Michelle, nobody can tell me no. She was, people tell me no. I said, that's because y'all in New York. In Georgia, they don't tell you no. They don't always come, but they always say yes. But, you know, if you're yourself.
Yeah, no, you know, New Yorkers just go, no.
Yeah.
They're just way more.
Unless you're from the South. And then they
South
say,
people are
yes.
nicer.
They say, yes. I got this lady let me use the private bathroom. She goes, I said, it said employees only. I said, I got to go sweet talk her. And I did. So, but be friendly when you're meeting new people. Just get to know them and see what would attract them to your Mary Kay business as a team member or as for product. If they already have beautiful makeup, they love makeup. And you say, I'd love to get your opinion. So that's what I try to do throughout my Mary Kay career is be myself, not try to put on and be like Michelle, you know, although we're a lot alike, we have a lot of similarities, but she's herself, I'm myself, and we're going to attract different people. But have a good time while you do it. And you won't come across as scary Kay.
Right. And
right?
you got to get out the door.
You
got to get out the door to do that.
Have to get out the blessed door. Now, when I started, probably like you, did your director tell you to make a list of the people you know first and start with those?
Yes.
And that's what I did too. And then I found though, once I started doing parties with people from the party that I didn't know, I made more money. Because didn't your family and friends want a discount?
Yeah.
So you want to get out of that initial crowd to the people you don't know as well, because guess what? They're going to respect you more.
That's right.
They do. Yeah, but I agree with you. Consistency, mindset, and have fun with your business. You know, we learned at seminar, funny makes money. So if you drop
money
something,
makes money. I love that.
About it. I mean, I'm definitely, people don't have to worry about me being a perfectionist because I make mistakes every day, but I just laugh and go on. Okay, so I guess lastly, here we go. What are one or two of your proudest moments in Mary Kay, or when you thought, you know what, I love this. I'll maybe just be a lifer in this thing. You know, what were some of the things that you just were you thought, all right, this made me proud of myself.
Yeah. Okay, there's been so many.
I know.
29 years, but I will tell you though, as a new consultant, I remember going to my first Star Consultant event. It was like a recognition event, and I just thought I was out there doing, you know, holding parties like they told me to do. And I ended up, you know, being a Star Consultant, but placing in the top of the Star Consultants. And I was like so proud because I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what the norm was or what people did or didn't do. I just did what my director told me to do. She said, go out there and, you know, do a perfect start, which was, you know, holding 5 parties in 2 weeks and then do it again and do it again. And just, that's what we do. We hold parties. So I would say it was being proud of being a Star Consultant, never missing Star Consultant. So I don't know, I have over 100 orders, something like that, of being a star, never missed. And, you know, Mary Kay always said, everything starts with selling the product. So I was proud of that. And I was also told as a consultant that if you ran into Mary Kay, she would look for your Star Consultant pin. Because that was her railroad track to run on. And she was very proud of that program. And so I wore that pin with pride, knowing that I was a Star Consultant and actively billing customers and selling products. So that was one as a consultant. As a sales director, gosh, I think the one that stands out the most for me is when I earned my first pink Cadillac. Yeah.
Yes.
Never thought in a million years. Honestly did not ever think that I would be able to achieve a pink Cadillac. a red jacket for all that matter,
Yep.
or any of the things that I've done. It was just step by
Was it
step.
the SUV or the big
It was
long?
the big long
I
one.
love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
was.
Yeah.
It was, but I remember when I picked it up and I drove the car over to my mom and dad's house. And I called them on the phone and said, you got to come outside. And they both came outside and they saw me in the pink Cadillac, and my dad cried. I'm going to tell you what, it like really, it was a proud moment because, my dad didn't really show like a lot of emotion like that. And for him to cry when he saw me with that pink Cadillac, because my dad was an entrepreneur and he was the reason why I became an entrepreneur, because he planted that seed of being an entrepreneur into my life. And he always believed in the American dream. And to him, it was the American dream come true. So it was one of my proudest moments.
No, why are you gonna get us all emotional?
Right? I'm sorry.
I can't even tell my story now. I'm not gonna. She cries pretty, I cry ugly. But I used to drive mine when I won a car. I earned the use of a clear car. Let me correct myself, because we do earn them, we don't win them. It's not a drawing. But I worked at Colson Printing Company. I moved from Arkansas and moved back to Georgia, and I worked for my dad while I was a beauty consultant before I became a sales director. And then when I earned my first car, I drove it. I'd already quit. Okay. I drove it up there and everybody came out because they really did not believe I was really going to get a car. And then, so then every car I would do that. And my dad, same. I would walk in there, start crying. Why? I mean, but he was proud. He was an entrepreneur too. I didn't think about that. Yeah. And they believed it for us. I tried to quit and take my job back. And he said, you got a job, baby, go work it.
I thought that was such a great story.
That's true. That's true. So,
so you asked your dad for your job back at the printing company.
Yeah, I did.
And he said you already got one.
Yeah, I had a couple bad months and I panicked. So y'all, here's the deal with that. Don't panic. I mean, like you go up and down. You're not every single month is not going to be like a superstar month, but just don't quit. And people think that sounds pie in the sky, but it's the truth. When you think about Michael Jordan and how many shots he missed, Babe Ruth, how many strikeouts he had, but they didn't quit. And you just keep going. One of my proudest moments too was earning the top director trip.
Me too.
And the cars were so amazing. But that is something that you just look up. I just looked up to this balloon. I thought one day. And then y'all, I was in a while before I did it. And I finally just decided, I thought, whatever I got to do. If I have to facial 100, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even care. There's not a limit to what I will do as far as how many people I got to see to get it done. And to work that year. And I just decided we're going to move it up. And the year I decided, we didn't make it, y'all. But we had our highest year ever. And then the next year,
happened to me too.
Then the next year we made it. And I remember going on, it was in China. And I remember walking up and some of the staff people knew my name. Could not believe it. They're like, hi, Cleta. I'm like, that's the president, of Mary Kay. And so that has been a really neat thing. And of course, Michele and I know that it's not us, it's our unit that is a top unit. We do get the perk of going, that's for sure. And but you guys are so special to us, and there's no way that we could be what we call top directors. We're just a director of a top unit.
That's right.
The truth.
That is the truth.
It's the truth.
The truth.
It is the truth.
We have our own language.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We just want to encourage y'all that we're still in August. We're the second week of August. And so we got a whole year ahead of us. Y'all can
it goes fast.
It goes fast. But y'all can achieve whatever you desire this year. We've seen people do it. That join in January and become a director.
Yes.
And even earn trips. I mean, so if they can do it, if we can do it, y'all can do it. So I just want to thank y'all for watching today because the winners do show up. And I learned something at seminar that one of our classes, it was Lauren Bloomer, and she said she started going to the gym, and on the wall it has, you showed up, now show up. And she said, Mary Kay, we say you show up, you go up. And she said, but I thought, She said, so when I was in there working out, I thought, all right, now I got to push myself now that I'm here. And so I thought that was just so
really good.
Isn't that good?
Yeah, I like it.
We learned so much.
And you showed up.
You showed up, so now show up.
That's right.
Right. And make yourself a goal that you can do. And I think that's why the weekly meetings are good, because each week you get a new fresh, that's what Mary Kay used to say. Mary Kay asked, she said, every week you get a clean piece of paper, you start over. And so what if last week was a dud? So what? You got a new week.
That's
And
right.
that's why you show up to the sales meetings, and especially now they're on Zoom, my word. It's so easy, right?
That's right.
Just like turn on your phone. It's on anyway.
Come and get inspired.
That's right. And get to know your sister consultants.
That's right.
Right. So,
No.
all right. It's been so good. All right, let's see how we did on our time. Are we
How
doing
did we
great?
do?
I
Oh.
never hit start. So great. I was gonna comment.
That's something I would do.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
So thank y'all so
Thank
much.
you.
If
Wait, did I hear the
you
laugh?
have any questions about anything, put it in the comments and we'll come back to the chat and we'll answer them all.
You bet.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
All right, everybody. I'm sorry that was a little bit blurry. It might have been the internet at the lakes because it looks so good on her screen. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm just going to open up the gallery just for a second. And if anybody has any comments or questions, I'd love to hear them, and then we'll wrap it up.
Cleta, that was really, really good. You look so good in that video, but it was great information. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Cleta. I think people, especially like me, I learn things from hearing stories. So I love that you guys told stories about how you did it, what happened then, and then the next, and then the next. It's more than just information. It's like real, authentic, and I just loved it. So thank you.
Thank you. And you know what's cool is her daughter, Justine, joined Mary Kay, and she is a sales director. And we went over to, they have a pink, they call it the JM Beauty Bar because you can't say Mary Kay Training Center, you know. So they went over there and we all went over there and she was going to play this video. And I said, Justine sat down and she's like, hey, everybody, good to see everybody. And she was so professional. She looked so good. I'm like, Michelle, are you just not so proud of your daughter right there? She goes, I know it. I said, she is good. I said, she looks good. She's confident. She was nurturing to everybody sitting there. She did just as good as I could have done, or Michelle. And she goes, I know it. She goes, it's something else. She goes, I'm just so happy that I have a business that I could share it with my daughter and it's something that she would want to do, you know, because not all daughters, you know, want to join the mom's business, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So thank you. Thank you, Maureen. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything else, we will call it a night. Tomorrow we are doing What's in the Bag, and we're doing it on back to school pencils and erasers. So y'all can figure that out. That's going to be at 8:15, and then 2 weeks from now, or a week from now, we'll be doing our glass facials on the 20th. And I want to ask, we're going to end the meeting. Well, everybody just stay right here for 1 second.